Next, we move on to sum product formula. In this formula, we input two or more series of numbers and it returns the sum of product of individual elements of these two series of numbers. For example, if we want to assign weightage to the marks of maths, science and English of these students before calculating their ranks, we have written the relative weightage of each subject here. Now I want to find the total marks as per weightage. That is, I want to find the sum of 95 into 2 plus 83 into 1 plus 81 into 1.3. This will be the total marks for student 1. To do this, we go to the cell and type is equal to sum product. Then we select the first series of numbers, comma, select the second series of numbers and press enter. We get a value of 378.3. This is calculated by adding 95 into 2 plus 83 into 1 plus 81 into 1.3. This can be dragged down, but before dragging it, remember to use dollar symbols for the weightages. We can drag this down now. And here we have the total marks of students as per the weightage. Next we look at rand function. Rand function is used to generate random value between 0 and 1. This is an amazing function. It takes no input parameter. It just generates a number between 0 and 1 randomly. But why do we need random numbers? Random numbers can be used to simulate chance events like throwing a dice or tossing a coin. For example, say we want to randomly select a class monitor or a class representative out of these 5 students. I will generate one random number for each student. Whoever gets the largest number becomes class rep. So we go to this cell and type is equal to RAND. Hit enter. You can see a random value is generated for student 1. We can drag it down for all the students. We can see that student 5 has the maximum value, and now student 5 can be selected as the class representative. Next, we move to rand between function. This will return random value between the range that we have provided. So this function takes two values as inputs and generates a random number between these two numbers. In our example, for student 6, we can randomly assign marks for maths by going to this cell and typing is equal to rand between. And giving the range as 40 and 100. This student has scored 56 marks in maths. We can extend this to science and English also. You can see that every time you change any cell, the value of rand and rand between gets refreshed. So now this student has scored 88 in maths, 42 in science and 77 in English. Let's see this one more time. If I add any value to a new cell and press enter, these values are refreshed. Basically, doing any operation in the Excel sheet triggers a refreshing of these values. To stop this from happening, we can use the paste as value technique. So the thing is that these cells contain formulas, whereas we are interested in the value already generated by these formulas. The formulas have already served their purpose. So what we do is we copy the contents of these cells. The content of the cell is a formula. You can see that by pasting it in any other cell. You can see in the formula bar, when I paste it, it still contains the formula. But we want to keep the value and not the formula. So we copy the cells and paste them here as values. This is the option for pasting as values. This comes only when you have copied a formula. It basically gives the option to copy paste a formula as a formula or the value calculated by the formula. Now, as I have pasted the values, I have the randomly generated values with me, which won't refresh every time I perform any operation. There are several other mathematical formulas, such as the ones in this sheet. We encourage you to try these on your own. You can also find a list of all the formulas in the Excel menu. Click on the Formulas tab and select Maths and Trigonometry. Here you can see the list of all the math related functions. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next one.